drew a tight bead, and fired. Then Chet rolled to the side and levered in a new cartridge. His shot had struck either the rider or the horse, for he left bucking and threw the man off his back in half a dozen short hops. It was the others Chet worried about. If they'd seen his quickly dissipated gun smoke in time, they might have him spotted. He needed to move aside from there and be certain they couldn't see him. There came another shot, but the round never came close to him, and he suspected the bullet originated from the same ridge as he settled in a new spot a dozen feet away. Muffled shouting. "Joe, you all right?" "Hit hard." "Good. Stay down. We'll get him." "Don't be so damn certain." Still flat on the ground, Chet removed a fresh brass cartridge from his jumper pocket and slipped it into the side breech. His rifle reloaded, he tried to peer through the boughs for another sight of one of them. "Come on," he whispered to himself, anxious to get this settled. The word "we" must mean more than one was left up there. Had he been daydreaming, riding along to draw that many assassins? Or had they simply gotten lucky running into him? He was near the south end of Bar C Range. No matter, there were still at least two more gun-happy yahoos out there. A hard-breathing horse was coming at breakneck speed off the hill, and he could hear the rider urging him. He rolled over and drew his .44. When the one on horseback busted into the space where Julio gazed and spooked him, the shooter never saw Chet on the ground half under the cedar, and two shots from his Colt belched death into the rider's shocked face and chest. The horse lurched sideways into the cedars, and his rider fell off, face down. Chet was on his feet and headed for his own wide-eyed horse. In his left hand, he caught the reins and woed to him. The other mount tore out of the grove and clattered down the dry wash, wasting no time to escape. In an attempt to scramble up the hillside, the frantic animal fell over, then rolled back on his side into the dry wash off a chest-high side wall. Kicking and screaming, the horse finally righted himself and then bounded to his hooves. In lunges, he was going uphill with fear in his wide eyes, his tail tight to his ass. "Damn it, did you get him?" someone shouted. "No, he's gone to hell too," Chet answered in a whisper, trying to locate the latest one doing the shouting on the ridge. Then he saw the speaker and quickly drew a bead on him. Way too far away for a pistol shot. There wasn't time to get his rifle off the ground, but he lunged for it anyway. At last, with a wooden gunstock of the oily-smelling rifle in his hands, knowing the shooter must have seen him, he scurried to the right on the floor of sticky needles for another knothole in the green boughs to shoot at him from. When he reached the spot where he could see the black gunsmoke blasts of the shooter's rifle, he aimed into them. Two quick shots expressed toward him, and Chet raised the smoking barrel to look for the results. There was silence, save for the wind. Chet found his feet, then swept up the pistol he'd dropped and looked it over. Save for some resin-sticky needles, the revolver looked okay, and he jammed it into his holster. With slow intent, he studied the ridge selectively from his cover and reloaded the Winchester. Were there only 3 of them? By his judgment, that was all, but he wasn't taking any chances. That Reynolds bunch was never easy to kill. The twice-shot man on the ground had never moved. He rolled him over with his right boot toe. This dead man had a name. Carly someone. Did day work for ranchers. He wouldn't know more. He located Julio and swung into the saddle. Julio acted upset when Chet rode him out of the thicket to the north. Twisted in his seat, Chet could see 3 saddled horses together, grazing on the ridge opposite his position. Their horses. It took 15 minutes or longer to work his way over there. He found Adrian Clow sprawled out on his back, rifle nearby in the grass. A brother-in-law to the Reynolds clan, he'd been the talker on the ridge. If he was alive, he'd not last long. He was unconscious, the wound in his chest pumping blood through Klaus's fingers. Chet booted his cow pony over and rode downhill where the one in the red jacket sprawled on the ground. No more than a boy in his late teens, the stricken shooter blinked up at Chet and made a gasp. His open jacket showed he was losing lots of blood. He reached vainly for his handgun a few feet from his fingers. "Better save those bullets for yourself," Chet said, resting his left hand on the saddle.